Okay, friends, I'm at the graves of Floyd and Allie Mae Burroughs from the famous book Let Us Now Praise Famous Men. Again, writer James Agee and photographer Walker Evans came here to rural Alabama to spend some time with poor white sharecroppers, and part of their time they spent with Floyd and Allie Mae. Again, they were given aliases in the book. I think it was the Gudger family, but in reality it was the Burroughs family. So Floyd was September 11, 1904 through December 27 of 59, and Allie Mae October 19, 1907 through January 26, 1979. And she was interviewed. There's a documentary. It's on YouTube. I think it was called something like Let Us Now Praise Famous Men Revisited or something to that effect. And my point is, Allie Mae was quite senior in her years, and she was quite literally on her deathbed. She was really quite ill, and she had taken to a bed, and she was propped up, with quite a few pillows, and she was being interviewed. And it really struck me because now some of the Burroughs children were kind of bitter. I mentioned this before. They were bitter in later years because of James Agee. Right, some of the things he wrote, that's the smell of sweat, and there's some other things, and I don't want to get too graphic. I always try to keep this family oriented. But there are some things he wrote in there that were very unkind about the Burroughs family, about all the families, the other families he lived with too. And I shouldn't say lived, but spent time with, documenting, right? But some of the things were very unkind. And Allie Mae, she was interviewed shortly before her death in this documentary. She was probably interviewed late 78, 1960, because she passed on January 26 of 79. So she was interviewed sometime during 78 or early 79, and she passed shortly thereafter. But my point is, and I know I'm kind of rambling here, she was very forgiving. She said the things that Agee wrote were true because we were in desperate circumstances. So some of she said, they weren't proud of it, but the smell of sweat and the clothing being kind of right in a state of disrepair, old clothing, stained clothing, the smell of sweat, right, so forth and so on, all stemmed from just hard times financially. And what she was basically trying to say in the interview is, of course I didn't want to live like this. Nobody wants to live in filth in circumstances such as these, but being what it was in the Depression, they had to survive, and if it meant wearing stained clothing and not having access to, right, not being able to bathe a lot and picking cotton, they were cotton sharecroppers, right? So she was absolutely forgiving of James Agee. Again, she said what he wrote was absolutely true. So the children didn't take too kindly to Agee's writing, but Allie Mae was such a good sport about the whole thing. So let me show you. I brought here, this is the book, Let Us Now Praise Famous Men. So on the left is Floyd. Okay, this is his headstone. That's Floyd. And to the right is Allie Mae. Allie Mae Burroughs. So there we have it. Floyd. Right there. Floyd and Allie Mae. Okay, I captured the grid coordinates, and I will post the grid coordinates. If you ever want to make the pilgrimage, again, I'm a huge fan of the book and of their lives. It just captured my attention, and I'm just huge fans of Floyd and Allie Mae. God rest their souls.